Hello, getting ready for another sweet and short bedtime story? This one is fresh, sunny, and with a whiff of the sea. Now relax, get comfortable, and close your eyes. Imagine the following. In a charming beach home nestled along the glittering Black Sea coast lives a happy family. Bella, Victor, their loving mom Valia, and their cheerful dad Alex. The beach house is their heaven, a place where laughter echoes through the hallways and the salty breeze dances through the open windows, bringing the melody of the waves and the smell of the coast. First, to introduce you to Bella. She is gentle and beautiful, with a fine figure and firm character. Her eyes are as chocolate brown as her long hair. Well, the color of her hair is more of a milk chocolate. Her lips are dark pink, the color of ripe raspberries. Her little brother Victor hides beautiful blue eyes under his long lashes. His cheeks are round and flushed like peaches. His hair is the color of golden caramel, and his nose is round like a chocolate candy. All in all, they are both very delicious. Very cute. One sunny morning, Bella and Victor came out of their room, and their excitement was palpable. "Day at the beach! Day at the beach!" they chanted, jumping with joy. Bella was twirling her bathing suit merrily over her head, and Victor held his little sandals in his hands and said cheerfully, "Out," with the shining blue eyes. "Do you want to go to the sea?" smiled Mama Valia. "Done," answered Victor. Valia and Alex laughed at their children's enthusiasm. "Okay, beach explorers," Mama Valia said with a smile. "Let's pack up and head for the shore." The family gathered their beach gear: towels, sunscreen, snacks, buckets, flip-flops, and an umbrella. With the beach hats on their heads and spirits high, they headed out for their next beach adventure. When they arrived at the sandy beach, the children rushed to the shore to chase the seagulls. Mom and Dad set up their umbrella and lounge chairs, ready to relax and enjoy the day. Bella and Victor wasted no time chasing the waves, their imaginations running wild. They decided to build a large sand castle decorated with seashells and dig deep moats on the sides to protect it from imaginary invaders. The two ventured in different directions to find pebbles and shells for the decorations. Bella took a few seashells. Two of them were connected in the middle. They were dark black and blue on the outside, but on the inside, the greyish core glistened in the sun with a gentle softness. "Oh, that would be the castle door," she thought. She also found large white frilled shells that looked like an open fan. "This will do for windows." Victor, on the other hand, was carefully gathering the tiniest pebbles he could find. "Tick-tock," he said, as he showed Bella his finds. In his language, that meant it would be the decorations for the clock tower. The two of them chose a spot for the palace and excitedly put their hands into the sand. They filled their handfuls with golden grains and piled them in a heap in the middle. The castle began to take shape, with one main building with a clock tower and one lower wing on each side. Victor filled handfuls with sand and cracked the building's material on top. Bella skillfully built and shaped the details of the castle. At the front, she placed the two connected shells that became the glowing gates. She gently pressed the pile upwards, and there appeared a tall clock tower. "Tick-tock," Victor nodded cheerfully and handed her the pebbles. Bella formed a small dial with them, imagining that every wave she heard was a second measured by their clock. As the children played, their mother and father watched them with love for their little builders. "They're growing up so fast," Valley whispered, her voice filled with emotion. Alex nodded, his eyes shining sea blue. As the day stretched its shadows, Bella and Victor kept building. The castle now had several rows of clam windows and was tall and dignified. It was time to rise the castle wall and dig the moat around it. Victor scooped out the wet sand and formed a circle around the castle. Bella wrapped the piles between her palms and turned them into a thick wall. The sea, however, was closing in on their creation by the minute. The waves began to lick at the builders' feet and touched the bulkheads. As she was fixing the last tie on the wall behind the castle, Bella looked over and saw a wave steal an entire section of the front fence, and another wave was threatening to come and submerge the castle. Victor also saw pieces of the castle flowing into the sea. He untangled himself from the waves and cried. "Mummy, Daddy, help!" cried Bella. Valia and Alex jumped out of their deck chairs alarmed and were with them in seconds. "We can't finish our castle," said the tearful Bella. "Bella can do everything," replied Valia calmly. "I know, but the sea is eating the castle," Bella insisted. "Maybe it's because it wants his sand back. If we help you finish the castle, then will you promise to give the sand back to the sea?" Bella looked at her thoughtfully and nodded her head. "Okay," Alex said. "What should we do? What's the plan?" Bella cut in. "You and Mummy will stand in front and guard until we finish it." Valia and Alex smiled. They sat down in front of the castle and hugged each other. Their bodies felt like a big living shield defending the sandy creation of the little builders. As the incoming waves crashed with a thunderclap against their clinging backs, Bella and Victor excitedly rebuilt the wall and dug a protective moat around the palace. Their hands were like little diggers battling the weather. Quickly, they dug into the heavy wet sand. Bella encouraged Victor and showed him how to dig. Soon, the deep moat all around the fence was ready. Bella stepped back, hugged Victor, and they both looked at the big beautiful castle. Mummy and Daddy's human shield had done the job. The castle was extremely beautiful, and the clock tower stood out proudly in the middle. The kids ran to Mum and Dad and hugged them. "Let's take a picture," said Bella. The four of them posed with the castle, and just as Valia pressed the camera button, a wave came into the frame and crashed into their backs. They all laughed. "Remember what you promised?" asked Daddy Alex. Bella looked at him and her bottom lip bulged forward slightly. "I know you were sad, but it's time to give the castle back to the sea. We'll thank it so much for letting us play with the sand," Mama Valia said. Bella nodded sadly. The four stood up and opened the shield. The waves accepted the gift with a grateful splash. Before the eyes of the little builders, the castle melted and slid back into the sea. Only a few shells remained tucked in place as if to seal the memory. White bubbles of sea foam popped in the cheerful sea breeze. Bella sighed noisily. Her mother kneeled down, looked her in the eyes, and took her hands. "Just because you can't see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It stays sealed right here and she touched her gently where her heart was. "And here," her father said, stroking her forehead gently. Bella closed her eyes and imagined the waves gently rolling the grains of sand inwards into the sea, grit by grit, and built an underwater castle again with excitement. A wonderful palace that would become home to merry mermaids, colorful fish, or maybe a little crabs. She smiled and opened her eyes. "Oh, besides we have it captured here too," said their mother, showing them the picture of the castle. In it, the crushing wave had made a wall of water behind their backs, and the sun was projecting a bright rainbow onto it. The solar circle began to dip below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the water. "It's time to head back home, my little explorers," Alex said in a gentle but firm voice. Bella and Victor reluctantly left the sandy playground, their hearts full of memories to cherish. As they walked hand in hand with their parents back to the beach house, the sky turned shades of pink and orange, a beautiful backdrop to their perfect day. At the beach house, they gathered around the table for a delicious dinner, sharing impressions of their adventure and dreams for the future. Afterwards, as the sound of the waves put her to sleep before drifting off into a deep slumber, Bella thought that her castle was just like the boats in the sea. When they sail over the horizon, you can't see them, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. You somehow know they are there. Maybe some mermaid was opening the ivory gates of her castle now. Can you imagine it? Wonderful. Now comes the sweetest part. A deep and good sleep that will give you energy for tomorrow's magical day. Have a wonderful walk in the dreamland. Good night.